Happy Halloween to my horror fans out there. I am your host, Artsy Angel, and welcome back to my channel. As we know, this is our 4-year anniversary, and I thought this will be a perfect opportunity to show off my creepy/horror characters' backstory and lore. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful Halloween with trick-or-treating. Hopefully more treats than tricks. Without further ado, let's get on to the video. Trigger warning, there will be mentions of horror subjects such as kidnapping, experimentation, death of a dog, abuse, physical and verbal, murderers, slashers, yanderes, cult, and the death of a child. If this is not your cup of tea, I suggest you get off this video. But those who are brave enough to watch this, you have been warned. Ashton Parker. Ashton was a happy little boy, living with his mother and father, but at the age of 10, they got into a car crash, his mother and father dying. He had to go to court to see who would take custody of him. His uncles and aunts from his mother's side tried so hard to get them under his custody, but the judge refused as they worked 24/7 and didn't see them as a fitful guardian, especially with Riley, as she's a YouTuber, and you know what they say about YouTubers. They are bad. So they agreed that Paul, Mia, and Linda from his father's side will be his rightful guardians. Instead of welcoming him with open arms, Paul physically abused him, while Mia verbally abused him, and Linda did nothing. 3 years of the abuse, and Ashton had enough. On Christmas Eve, he took his uncle's machete and killed them. He took all the money they had and burned the house to smithereens. He was homeless until he found an apartment that took his money. After Christmas, he met a girl named Megan, and she was the only nice one to Ashton. Thus awakened his yandere side. Then he kidnapped Megan, and he tried to make her fall in love with him, but she did not fall in love. It all went to vain, so he had to kill her. He had 9 failed relationships. At the age of 18, he met a girl named Michelle, and he really loves her and doesn't want to mess up, so he just spies on her. One day on Christmas, God, he hates Christmas, Michelle invited him to a Christmas dinner with her family, and he obliged. When he got to Michelle's house, he met her parents, Jackie Carlin and Charlotte Anthony. And after the way that they treated their daughter, Ashton realized he did something horrible. He took away daughters of families, just like the drunk driver that took away his parents. After, when they all fell asleep, he reported himself to the police and was arrested. His confession went all over the news. Everyone were angry. Some were shocked. And Ashton went to jail. And that's what Ashton wanted. He wanted to avenge the girls that he killed and rot in jail. And that's what it seemed it would be like. Until a month later, the government decided to make a program called a redemption, where they take young killers and try to make them normal, and decided to make Ashton their first candidate. At first, Ashton refused to be a part of the program, but they declined his refusal. So they called Rick, his uncle, to take him in and he agreed. And that's where he is right now, living with his uncle and his cousins.
In case Jimi Hendrix shows up tonight, here's my number. Hi, look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to embarrass you in class.
Keith Parker. And no, they're not related at all. No, I just forgot that he had Parker in his last name. Bear with me. Keith had a very rough childhood where his parents had arguments daily, enough where his parents got a divorce until his mother remarried, and it came with a stepbro named Jackie Carlin. Wait, what? Keith and Jackie were never close, and Keith had a rage inside of him. He felt angry for what was going on, so he did what was logical to him: becoming a killer. At the age of 17, he had met a girl, and her name was Charlotte Anthony. I'm sorry, wait, what? Her, that sounds familiar. Why does it sound so familiar? Anyways, he fell in love with Charlotte, and he wanted to ask her out on a date. But you see, audience, Charlotte was already taken. None other but Jackie Carlin. What? No, he won't allow this, not one bit. So, he kidnapped Charlotte and confessed his feelings for her, and she refused his feelings, and he didn't like that at all. So he did what was logical to him. He hurt her. 2 months later, Jackie was worried about his girlfriend as she went missing 2 months ago, and none of the police or anyone has found traces of where she might be, and that made him worried sick. But he has noticed that Keith, for some odd reason, would go out at the dead of night with a plate of food or bandages. And he had no clue. But you see, audience, Keith was visiting Charlotte at a shed that was 30 minutes away from his house. And one night, Jackie decided that he would follow Keith. And what he saw terrified him. He saw Charlotte beaten and malnourished. Is that how she been this whole time? For 2 whole months? Keith came back, and he was furious that Jackie found his little secret, and he challenged him to a fight. And of course, Jackie came victorious. Keith was knocked out, and Jackie ran up to Charlotte, untied her, used the same ropes to tie up Keith, and then both of them ran out of that shed to go back to the house to call the police. Then Keith was arrested for murder, abuse, and kidnapping, and there he shall rot until he dies. And if you're wondering if the characters that I use, Jackie and Charlotte, are 2 different people, then you're wrong, because Keith is the uncle of Michelle Carpenter.
That's why he's crazy. Whatever you say, kid.